Hey everyone, hey, and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the second part of an ongoing series. I'm joined by my ever faithful partner. Again, that sounds weird, but I mean in podcasting, downloading senses. We do Bodybags. Deffinition. Good to have you back, man.
We love you, definitely. Hey, keep it down. Yeah, just back with the King of the Dot one. Obviously, we're hugely famous top 5 body bags for Don't Flop. We're back, and it's better. It's going to be better. It's like the sequel.
It is.
It's all going off.
It is.
It's like when you watch the Avengers and you're like, I want to see more. And they bring out the Avengers 2 with the 2 on the end. It's like that.
Yeah, this is. I was desperately trying to think of like an Ultron pun for like King of the Dot, but I couldn't. So yeah. Please comment below, and that would be very useful. But yeah, this is King of the Dot Bodybags. Thank you so much for everyone that again listening to the Don't Flop one. Like you say, it was really popular. Shout out to Nathan Jones as well, who does all the thumbnail designs for the show. He's the unsung hero of Battle Rap Resume. Follow him at Nathan Jones, and he did a thumbnail of you, Def. I don't know if you saw it. You were like a Grim Reaper type figure. Like,
it was. He didn't do that. That's an actual photo that exists online of me. That's where the name Def comes from.
Right. Yes.
It's a bit of bit of trivia for you there. Bit of behind the scenes knowledge.
And it's fair to say, if you were to ask someone today who's the big Don't Flop King of the Dot guy, everyone would say, oh, Shotty. Obviously, Shotty's huge in Canada. He's had massive battles out there. The Canadians fucking love Shotty for some reason. I'm not saying it's a mystery because Shotty obviously is fucking dope. Everyone loves Shotty, but it's like they love Shotty the way we love DNA. It's just kind of like, it's kind of an interesting affection they have there. But if you asked someone a few years ago, Def, it would have been you. Like
it would have. Oh no. Yeah, I used to be the King of the Dot guy, and then I just stopped battling. And Shotty became a lot more popular than me, and did a couple of King of the Dot battles. Obviously, though, I'm the hero that everyone loves deep down. World Domination 6 was nothing without me. It was nothing.
It would have been weird to see you on that stage, actually. That red.
Yeah, they really wanted me there as well, and I just couldn't do it. I just had too much stuff going on. I did really want to get out there.
Did they offer anyone?
Yeah, no, they didn't offer any opponents, but they were like, "Yeah, we want you. Please come out. Please, we need you. We need you." Definition.
Seriously, because obviously you battled Saurus, which was a great.
Yeah, maybe Cheddar Cheese would be. We'd been talking about. We're actually going to do that at one of the years, and he was at a wedding, so he couldn't do it, and it was like 90% confirmed. And I think it was the year I battled PH. So yeah, I think it'd probably be Cheddar Cheese or KOTD, that sort of, that kind of street rapper. I don't think I've had enough of them yet, so branching out in a new territory. They're
both good matchups, and Cheddar Cheese is someone that I've only recently really got into. I'm going to have Kid Twist on the show soon, so I was watching Kid Twist versus Cheddar Cheese, quite a recent battle. Kid Twist is amazingly good in that battle, really good. Cheddar Cheese as well, though, really good writer, very precise, very punch-driven, very ironic. He's a good guy.
Yeah, well, let's send my love to Kid Twist as well. I'm sure he's doing well without my friendship. He doesn't seem to be.
He's writing movies right now, bro.
Is he? Is that all?
Yeah.
Could have been better. He'd replied to my Facebook message, but good luck to him.
He's for those not in the know, Kid Twist has written a movie called Bodied, where loads of battlers are starring. I think it's about battle of like Deers Hollow, Pat Stays in it and stuff. But it's directed by Joseph Kahn, who I was like, who's this guy? I don't really know this guy. I want his Wikipedia. He's directed like so many big music videos. It's fucking ridiculous. He's directed like Toxic by Britney Spears and like Jay-Z and anyone you can think of. This guy, and it's so cool that he's the guy with the battle rap script. I mean, it's not Sam Raimi, but it's the second best thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't get asked, especially with my acting skills. Obviously, they mustn't want to appeal to both the Canadian market and the British market by asking me. But I mean, they might not have had the budget. I mean, my asking price these days, who they would have been lucky to get me on that movie. I only tend to work with Steven Spielberg. I don't work with amateurs. So yeah, Joseph Kahn, nice guy, but not to my caliber of director.
we'll push on then. And this was an interesting list because like when we started just after the Don't Flop one, we did say let's go into King of the Dot and stuff like that, and probably we'll do more Don't Flop ones as well, just because there are so many when you start to actually search for them. And we did a raw list of King of the Dot, and obviously we're both Don't Flop guys at heart, so it's not like we both know King of the Dot well, but it's not like we're versed in kind of the minute, kind of obscure ones here. So I posted on Reddit, and I think you posted on Facebook, and so many suggestions, weren't there?
Yeah, absolutely, hundreds and hundreds. It was really hard like compiling this list, and then one thing I noticed, mainly chokes as well. On the list, quite choke heavy on this one. But yeah, like really good performances by the winners, so it's kind of hard to exclude them just because someone choked.
Yeah, there's one battle in this list which I'll kind of announce it when we get there, that I forgot how good the actual winner is, and I was just like, oh, he kills this battle so good, and he kind of makes it even better. But we'll get onto that. And the first battle is a notorious battle for Don't Flop people, Real Deal versus Tony D, and it's one of those ones where you kind of feel bad for pointing it out because Tony's so fucking great. Like I'm not like mocking Tony, because it's like he went on to kind of, it almost was, he says in the Clips battle something along the lines of like, sparked a lighter to my spirits like a Molotov or something like that. And it's kind of like, you can see it in this, because obviously this is a, stinker of a performance. Oh,
but the worst, like one of probably the worst international performance, like not even hating.
Yo! What? Nah, sorry. Don't, sorry, fucking... It's a lack of imagination. But this is the first and last time against the man that I'm facing. So let's get that school shit over with that graduation. See, I watched him. Fucking no. Yeah.
I was angry as well when this happened, because this was the battle after my title shot. And I was like, I could have used this. I could have won talking about this. But yeah, just it's quite funny how like the start, like everyone bigs it up, and Charlie Clips is like, if he sucks, I don't gotta battle him no more. It's like, it's just kind of, in hindsight, it's one of them. You watch it like, ooh.
Yeah. It's very ominous. And of course, you have interviews before. This is King of the Dart in that era. Tony opening up by going at the people who said that the title match, the judges were racist for it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I monitor my comments quite closely on my YouTube videos, and I can't remember anyone saying that, but if they did, then they're probably a fan of me. So it's always good to have the racists in your corner.
And
that shit is up.
And Organic, it feels a little bit in the start of this video that he's kind of explaining to the audience, this guy's the Don't Flop champ, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't really kind of get you hyped genuinely.
A lot of people don't realize when they go to Canada, like, it is literally doing your tryout again. Like, no one knows who the fuck you are, and you have to really win them over quickly. Like, this shows that even if you are the Don't Flop champion, you go out there, it's like starting again, and you have to, no one knows who you are. You can't kind of rest on your laurels, and you have to really go for it. And I kind of think this intro sums that up, really, the fact that Organic even has to announce that. And then Real Deal's obviously a huge name over there, so yeah, some people might have thought it was a mismatch. I didn't think it was. I thought it was going to be really close when it got announced. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things, Tony, like, you need to take into consideration how long and exhausting those flights are, and getting through customs, and then going from the airport to the venue, and then stand about the venue for 6 or 7 hours. And it can really take a toll on you, which I think we're kind of seeing this performance. But I was glad about it, because obviously I just lost the title match, and it's good to pull a man down. Go on, come back, Tony.
That is interesting. I hadn't considered that chronology, but that does add something slightly to it.
I was absolutely devastated when I seen this. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, this is one of those ones. I mean, this is from Vengeance 2, and and it begins. Tony does seem a little nervous. As it kicks off, his body language is quite closed, and I don't blame him really. Like you're saying, and it's interesting what you just said there. Clearly, through the experience of doing several world dominations, the whole travel aspect, and I've always thought of that. It is a huge endeavor, isn't it? From the moment you leave your house to the airport, you have to battle, like there's so much on pressure, and then you have to like go all the way back, and it's such a long flight back, and it's like, it's a crazy commitment.
Yeah, I bet that was like the loneliest flight home ever.
Oh man, yeah.
But yeah, people really like don't
trying to watch some Pixar movie, but you just can't. Like,
oh yeah, like I remember Hindu Rock when he battled Tenchu. He came over for like. He had like a 12-hour flight, came over to England, did the battle, and left immediately after, and got another 12-hour flight home. Oh. It's one of them things you book up without like thinking, oh shit, this is gonna like totally exhaust my body and my mind.
Yeah,
like even just sitting in an airport for 2 hours before your flight, and then having a taxi on the runway, and if you've got to change flight, it's a fuck on. People don't get it. But yeah, Real Deal just kind of played that to his advantage and just smashed it, really.
Yeah, he absolutely kills it, especially because Tony goes first, and Real Deal has that clean, all-American style that really works, really cuts through the kind of flab of Tony. Like, Tony's Tony has such authority, doesn't it? But he really lacks it here. He doesn't feel witty. He feels kind of bored, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like a different person. I don't know if when he started writing it, I know that he can do like really great performances on short notice as well. But yeah, it's weird, like how different he is and how underprepared he comes across in this battle. And I think Tony D, obviously, like he's very intricate at writing, and his punches often have quite a long build up. And if you fuck up any part of that build-up, then you fuck up the momentum of the punchline. Whereas Real Deal is pretty much all 2 bars. So if he fucks up a 2-bar, it's all right because his next 2 bars are going to be good and they'll hit. Whereas Tony D, if he fucks up a 4-bar or an 8-bar sometimes, then you've just wasted like 15 seconds. And if you do that twice in a row, you've wasted like 30 seconds. Whereas if Real Deal fucks up, he fucks up about 5 seconds, but he's got something to recover it straight away, and then he's got something right after that to recover it. Whereas Tony D's got to build up momentum for another 8 bars. If that makes sense, like the style clash kind of works against Tony D in this because he's choking, so it makes it harder for him to get back on his feet. Whereas if someone else who has shorter style, set up punch, if they fuck up, they can get back on their feet within the next 2 bars. And it just kind of, and then once you lose the crowd, you kind of, I think Tony probably knew that he'd lost after the first round, and you've got to go through the slog of the rest of the battle, and it can be quite numbing almost, and it just comes across like, obviously Tony since then and before that, he totally like knocks it out the park every time. And it is good that he has these other performances, but it's a shame that this is his one international battle in Canada, and it's just a bad look for him, really.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? This anomaly of this genius writer who had a bad day at the office, and the thing with battling is it's on camera and it's never going to leave, and whatever.
It's there forever, ever.
Unless it goes private for a bit, but then
who would ever put that? Who would ever do that? The swine.
You gotta respect battling, bruv.
Ruined the culture.
I mean, Tony, he keeps stumbling in this round, doing really badly. He says himself, which is kind of a tragic moment, he's like, I'm killing myself, and it's just like, oh, Tone,
please, he's such a nice guy as well. Like, you want him to do well, and obviously he's representing our country as well, so you kind of have that national pride of, I really want him to like go out there and kill someone.
But it's like, is it okay? Let's say alternate reality time. The Tony D that comes against Real Deal is the Shotty Horror Tony, the Raptor Tony, whatever. Tony at his best. Is he still going to kill? Is that style going to hit? Is that geezer pun style going to hit?
Yeah.
Is it going to hit?
Maybe we should start like a new series called Tony's Time Machine, or Time Traveling Tony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if we could go back with Tony. I don't know, because Canada is like, it is, you have to get right to the point straight away. Like, you don't have time to kind of rest on your laurels. So I don't know if he just went in with the wrong strategy. Like, we've kind of seen that a bit with Quill. Like, whilst Quill's had good performances, they've not been as good as his UK ones, because he's had time to build up his fan base and they know what to expect, whereas there you're kind of introducing yourself and you've got to almost be like in your greatest hits mode, where you've got to like be like, right, I'm Deffinition, I do stupid jokes, I make fun of myself, I say something idiotic, I diss someone, get a bit personal, and that's it. And that's like my repertoire out there. Whereas back home I might do that but also add something else in. So I think you've got to do kind of an edited, abridged version of yourself, and I don't know if Tony had that in mind. Like, we didn't get to hear enough of his material to really know that, and I kind of wish that he'd released it as well after the battle so we could see.
Yeah, I agree, because it's like, if I was trying to transcribe his first round, I'd have real trouble.
Yeah, we have no idea what he said.
It's, he blurs from bar to bar. You hear a bit like, Edison light work, and it's like, that's a punch, right? And then it's like he's saying something else. And in the seconds, there are moments, there are glimmers. In my bits, I'm known for being tight with that rhyme gift. They got me showing off abroad like I'm with a nice bitch. That's vintage Tony, and it gets a little bit of reaction. So maybe the crowd would have reacted. In the crowd is Laura Tarsi. She's looking at the ground in shame.
Yeah, everyone's kind of just looking about, laughing in the background.
Yeah. It's got that.
It's a shame.
It is a shame, and it's.
But maybe Tony needed this. Sometimes you need a loss to make you come back even better. So who knows? Might have been a blessing in disguise.
Real Deal mentions the choke, which you kind of have to, right, in your second?
Yeah, the second was a little better.
And obviously we are going to get onto the low patient battle later on in the list, so it's interesting that Real Deal crops up twice, the poor guy, really,
Yeah, he's good. He's good, but he's good at getting people to choke.
Yeah, exactly. Have you been choked against much in battles? I'm trying to think.
Not really. I mean, my bigger battles, luckily, like Mark Grist, Caustic, Joe Davies, all the big names, they've all kind of stumbled against me.
Those three.
Yeah. Jefferson Price. Yeah.
So, at the end of his third, right?
Yeah.
The Egyptian electricity scheme.
Oh, yeah. What an idiot.
That is legendary.
Yeah, so good. Why did he use that?
That's why he's gone missing. It's got nothing to do with the caustic thing.
He's in Egypt right now, like trying to spark electricity off a rock or something.
And the thing is, if Tony fucks up the first, if he has a good second and third, then who gives a fuck, right? But of course, the second is shit, and the third is also really bad, and it's just kind of. It sounds quite boomy, whereas Real Deal sounds very clear. It's kind of weird, the differences.
That's always something I worry about when they put mics on you, because they move it a fraction in the wrong direction. It totally fucks up the audio.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe God that day was just feeling like, I don't actually like Tony D after he beat Deffinition. Maybe God's a racist, and he was one of the racists that said that there shouldn't have been 3 black judges in the title match against me. So God has been like, you know what? I tell you what, mate, your fucking mic's gonna break as well. I think God's a Geordie, obviously.
Holy D.
Yeah.
Holy G.
Exactly, yeah.
Tony's mad disappointed in the closing interview as well. He says, rightly so, people are rooting for him all over the world, DF especially. Our respect for Real Deal and Organic, he's very gracious. We keep saying it's a mad shame. We know it's a mad shame. We know Tony goes into great things, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? It is a really bad performance. Forget the fact that it's Tony D. Just look at this as just a guy performing. Like, it's just wow. It's just 3 rounds of a train wreck.
I don't know if they should have a rematch, to be honest, but then again, I don't know if Real Deal would do it because he's kind of... Tony hasn't got out all his material, so he'll have stuff left over, whereas Real Deal said everything that he wants to say. But yeah, it's just one of those things, just one of the risks of 6-hour flights or whatever.
Well, one of the risks of battling is going against Caustic, which you did fairly, you kind of came out unscathed, right? Did you beat him or?
Of course I did. No one's beaten me before. Are you crazy? I thought you were meant to be good at research. Yeah, I beat Caustic 3-0, 3-zip. Mm-hmm. If this was a Don't Flop body bag podcast, I'd be top of the list.
Nice.
So,
I think he had kind of a very obvious but satisfying pun. He was kind of like, "Well, I listened to your CD the whole time. I wished I was deaf," or something like that.
It had only been said to me in 7 battles till that point, right. And I'd only actually done 5 battles. So, yeah, well done, Caustic. I think me beating him so badly was what spurred him on to go on and be so good. Obviously, but
we'll start off with the first. We're going to do 2 Caustic battles because fuck it, we've had Caustic in the Jefferson Price one. You got to tackle all of his bodies, really. I mean, the Cortez one could maybe be here, but I think these 2 are probably the most famous ones. And the first one, Def, being Q Shinobi. This is quite
so good.
This is quite a notorious one, right?
Yo, look at his fucking shirt. He's like the Michael Jordan of child abuse. If your son ever comes out of the closet, he was probably just trying to hide from you. Yo, your girl says you've been bringing your work home with you. Shit's becoming a problem. I heard you deal with drywalls a lot. At least you and your girl got something in common. I mean...
Yeah, this is really weird as well because Q Shinobi paid Caustic $1,000 and was that terrible. Like, he could have just gave him the money without embarrassing himself. So yeah, it's very, very strange. It's always weird when someone desperately asks to battle you and then they're terrible and you just think what the fuck were you doing? It's weird. But yeah, Caustic absolutely kills him the first with the whole Asian comparison, saying he's built like they're women and hung like they're men. The whole Wu-Tang thing.
Yeah, but that was kind of the 900th Wu-Tang scheme, right?
Yeah, probably. But really good for even the first round. He was kind of very one-sided.
Yeah,
and then
banned from Animal Rescue because he asked for a menu.
Yeah, just kills him. Something else I've noticed about these King of the Dot battles, a lot of them just have a punchline in where the punchline is literally "you're a faggot."
Yeah.
And
Q
Shinobi just ends around by singing "knock knock knocking on heaven's door," and then he's got no reaction, and he just goes "faggot." But literally every battle on this list has a punchline where it's "you're a faggot," and that's the wit of the punchline.
No, it's funny you mention that because I mean before we get onto it, but I mean in the daily battle, the other Caustic battle, doesn't Caustic sing "Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi and end it with
and
faggot?
Ends it with faggot. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So weird.
And I'm thinking,
and Low Pesci says the Real Deal, if you do then you were a faggot.
Canadians, man,
Yeah, they love that. They love that.
Mac Lethal, Dirtbag Dan. Mac Lethal does that double time. He goes faggot like that. Yeah. So I need to make a compilation of egregious uses of faggot in King of the Dot. And in case anyone wasn't aware, my research game, as Def announced, I was looking in the description info of this battle on YouTube, and I learned that Toronto's Q Shinobi sparked some bad blood with California's Caustic after calling him out while competing on Much Music's Rap City freestyle competition. I mentioned that Caustic didn't take kindly to. Caustic obviously kindly took his money though, and like you say, it's kind of unbelievable. But I have to say, rewatching this battle, if you would have just came up to me and said, name some famous Kennedy body bags, I would have named this battle, of course. His second Q Shinobi, I'm not going to call it bad. I mean, at least he gets it out and he does get crowd reaction. I can't, the Guns N' Roses impression aside.
Yeah.
You know, it's not awful.
Yeah, but like Caustic's pretty much on his best performance level at this point, and he just kind of demolishes them. Like,
well, the stuff about his girl is just
you thought you had mystique. It's more like mistake. Just don't bring your girlfriend to a battle, and don't put her in the front row.
There's a nice flip by Caustic, just because in the second cues he talks a lot about PH, Pumpkinhead. Of course, it's like throwing pumpkin shots like Hobgoblin. It's just a nice little flip.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and Q Shinobi's like, I don't know what it is, but he's like what I imagine when someone says the term wigger. Like a skinny dude with a cap on and like a hoodie, and that's not working in his favor. Like, we've all went through a wigger phase, and you look back on it and you think fucking hell. And I think he probably looks back on this and thinks, you know what, I probably should have used that $1,000 maybe buying some different clothes for this battle. Just it's one of them, and it's one like
it is.
There's no really like redeeming qualities on Shinobi's end. Like, he's good, but the level Caustic's at, it's just completely unmatched.
It really is. And Caustic, especially back then, he just had this effortless, and he was quite quick as well. He's a lot slower now, but he had speed back then, and he was willing to attack a bit quicker, as kind of close to the disaster era. But I think maybe the better body, or the one that has, it's just more interesting in the sense you talked about earlier of Tony D, you know, choking his rounds. Choking and fucking his rounds up and having to go on with the later ones. This happens in the daily battle. This is Caustic versus Daily.
Oh! Walking out like that was fucking extra bad. But I must say that was an awesome impression of your dad.
He does a Mac Sherry.
Yeah, so he does like a few bars, right? And then he walks off for seemingly probably like 10 minutes. They sort of fast forward it through, but it's mad.
Yeah, he gets coached back to the ring by Nameless.
Yeah.
And it's another one where...
speech.
Oh, yeah. Come on, lose yourself. I bet he was thrown up in the bathroom. It's another one at the start in the introduction where Matt Daly talks about how much he's going to like absolutely murder him, and like how he's bringing home a body for his friends and family. And Caustic's interview's like, yeah, I got my laptop confiscated. I've got no way of I've got to write this battle in like 24 hours. So you think from the start, oh no, Caustic, he's fucked it up. But it just kind of shows the level that Caustic can come at on such short notice, and how he must have that hunger to really be as good as he is, because the amount of body bags that he gives out, like a lot of people, when they get given an opponent who they think's below them, they don't try. We see that a lot on Smack, whereas Caustic kind of goes out of his way to beat the shit out of someone. And I mean, I don't know what would have been going through his head, like not having his material in the lead up to that battle. And then within the first 5 seconds, Matt Daly walking out, like Caustic must have literally just thought, right, if I just get through my stuff, then I've won.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just another one of them. It's quite embarrassing for Daly.
It's absolutely unbelievable. I was aware of this prior in kind of some odd memory, but watching this today, Daly literally walks off stage. It's crazy. In a couple of bars, and Caustic just laughs at the camera and, you know, sort of just says like he knew this was going to happen. Like, you know, it's crazy sort of thing. And I don't know if this is inappropriate to say, Sketchman is looking pretty heavy.
Yeah, he lost loads of weight.
I think good for him, man. Yeah.
That Deffinition Run Club diet. So yeah, obviously like hashtag Thinspiration, hashtag Rapspiration, hashtag can just get your hashtags out there basically. But yeah, Sketch Menace, that was his division, part of the Grand Prix, which obviously Caustic got quite far in, but then didn't get through customs, so Arcane took his material for cheddar cheese. And just, it's nice to see where this whole legacy of the whole buying bars thing started out.
Yeah, that's interesting. If you were to tie together in some sort of like Making a Murderer Netflix special, you would use this battle definitely. This is where a lot of it kicks off, and it's Caustic, of course, has to flip the fact that he walks out and comes back.
That's the only bar I really remember from Caustic, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, just as soon as he walks back, he's like, that was bad. He did a great impression You're walking out like you're dead.
Yeah. And
But I can't remember any other caustic bars from that battle. And I watched it about 2 hours ago.
yeah, I mean, I have a few notes I liked. He goes in a lot about Daly's drinking, the whole world doesn't revolve around you because the world doesn't stop spinning.
Just because the room does, yeah.
Good closer.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember him talking about his balls being shriveled up from steroid abuse as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my only takeaways from that battle, really.
And the thing is, though, I mean, Daly, he does come back despite walking out, and he does do his rounds. And sometimes the crowd rocks with him a little bit. You get the feeling that even if he didn't walk out, Caustic's, Daly says it himself at the end, doesn't he? Like, Caustic still would have won regardless, and he's correct.
Yeah, he takes it gracefully. Both him and Q Shinobi kind of take their beatings gracefully.
Yeah.
But Q Shinobi is just like really downtrodden. He's like, yeah, I got what I wished for. I totally got my ass kicked. Hope I'm never on YouTube again. I hope they don't book me. And like, yeah, don't worry, mate, we won't. See you later.
But like, if he came back at a bunker battle, people would care.
Yeah, no, of course they would. Like, once you've been away for long enough, like, people forget everything.
Yeah.
And they kind of remember your name, but not exactly why you left. So yeah, he can come back. You were good, Shinobi and Daly. Both of you, come back. You're welcome. I'll have a word with Organic for you.
Hang on, what about you though, Def? I mean, a bunker spot is offered.
Oh, probably. I'd have to say. I mean,
that would be fun.
I just have to say, I'd take everything on its own personal merit.
It's weird because I'm so used to seeing you on the big King of the Dark kind of indoor room, so it'd be cool to see you in a little kind of Cali sort of thing.
Yeah, getting my suntan.
Just dropping those lad bars.
Oh, they'd love it over there. They'd
4K
absolutely
avocado,
love it.
like capturing it all.
Oh,
J-Pro reacting in the background.
Yeah. Oh,
head ice.
Imagine.
Just going mad.
Everyone is celebrating.
So we move on to Real Deal versus Low Pesci, which is obviously kind of one that most people will be aware of because it's just the longest choke ever. I mean, I know it's fast forwarded, but it seems like the longest ever.
Red, green, Low Pesci, let's
Yo, hold it down, everybody, chill out.
Yo, give me something to drink. No. All right. He's remembering his lines.
Yeah, I was there live for it, and it was honestly like so
Talk us through
bad.
it, man, please.
Like, I was drunk, and I was in my whole the new mode.
Had you battled?
Like, because I'd only been battling like a year, so I thought I was like battling sacred. I was drunk, and I was thinking like, you don't get booked on the biggest card of all time and not show up knowing your 3 rounds. You're disgrace. So I was like, literally, I was mortal up the top shouting, "Get him off!
Shit.
Get him off! You're a disgrace." Yeah, it was quite good.
And how long was it? Because, I mean, what happens is they fast forward it a lot, and you can sort of see a TV screen in the background going round, so you kind of gauge how much time is going. And then it cuts in for a little bit.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Like, yeah, really, really long choke.
Unbelievable.
Like, I think everyone just kind of wanted him to get on with his material or just stop the round. It was very weird at the time as well. It kind of like put a whole downer on the battle. Like, it goes back to Real Deal, who he doesn't fuck up his 3rd round, but you can tell he's like, he's just going through the motions of it, and he's dropping part, he's doing freestyles here and there because the choke just absolutely killed everything, like killed the entire vibe of the room. And that's what makes me laugh. Like, people on YouTube, they had like a big conspiracy theory about it, saying how Low Pesci planned the choke. And it was like, no, if you were there, there's like no way that you would ever want to do this to yourself.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? And wasn't it like a case of him going away for 3 years, coming back, and then battling Daylight or something along those lines?
No, like Low Pesci, I think he came back.
Right.
He had battles quite soon after, but like him and Real Deal were meant to be battling on Don't Flop Together, doing like a 2-on-2. And I remember talking to Trevor after it, I was like, oh, so you doing that 2-on-2 with Lopez? She was like, man, I don't know now.
Did it happen?
No.
I didn't. Wasn't it Fresco?
Didn't go down.
Yeah. Or
No, it was
different.
like this was meant to be at the event that I battled Real Deal at. So Pesci fucked up and then just didn't get to go to the event really.
Holy shit.
But like we used to rip the shit out of Trevor for doing that noggin off of the top. Your noggins get chopped, and he used to like take the piss out of me because against Tricky P, I said something about DMX. I can't. But my DMX flip was terrible. So we'd just be sitting in the hotel going like, yo, off of the top, your noggin get chopped. And he would just wait like 5 minutes and then be like, the room would be silent and be like, yo, that DMX flip though, man, I don't know, man, that was kind of crazy, yo. And we talked about how like raps it darker, and then we just got a tweet off Real Deal saying like, I rap it darker and hell is hot, DMX's new album. So yeah, he buoyed me and her off straight away.
And it's interesting. Lowe, he gets a taste of his own medicine, doesn't he? Really, because he starts off going on Trevor Weller without even starting his round. He's like, you're not the most famous Trevor and all this shit. It's just like, what are you saying?
He plays like Jeopardy against himself.
Alex Trebek
as an intro. Yeah, it's kind of like don't act like an arsehole in your intro.
Yeah,
because then people just want to see you lose straight away. But it was such a weird thing. Like I think Real Deal was pretty clearly beating them till that point, but it was quite close. But that round just kind of ended it for Lowe.
Yeah.
And then even like Real Deal's freestyles at the end were just like killing them, to be honest.
Massively. I mean, I have to be honest with you, Def. Like, I didn't think Lowe's material, even before the choke, was anything that special.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It's one of them. Like he had hype in the room and people were gassed for him, but. Yeah, I think Real Deal would have won either way.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, Real Deal does definitely have that winning personality. Doesn't need a crowd.
Oh, what a guy.
Crazy.
What a hero.
He is the all-American hero, isn't he?
Yeah, he's blue-collar worker.
This is ridiculous.
He's his favourite.
He's probably in the steel mill right now after school, just doing an extra shift.
Yeah, just to help out his friend for free.
Just getting some steel cut while the Pittsburgh Pirates play somewhere.
Yeah, he's missing the game, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, it's on the radio.
Friendship's all that matters.
The flag's flying.
Yeah.
There's a can of Coors Light somewhere, but
yeah.
we'll get on to the fourth battle. This is a battle that I was talking about in the intro, one where I was like, wow, this is fucking good on one side. This is Ilmac versus Averb. And I have to say, I think Ilmac kills it in this battle. He's really good.
Yeah.
By this crowd, I've been called porch monkeys and coons. And y'all expecting me to go harder? It's cool, y'all can treat me like a nigga. Just remember, I'm a nigga that drink cold water. I'm the overlord. When I get overboard, I snatch oversword, snatch your body and put you in the open lord. This ain't war. This ain't war. This is me and you in a match that's simple. Shut your tiny ass up, boy. Ain't no man this little.
Absolutely destroys Averb, and Averb's terrible. Like, I'd only ever seen like 4 Averb battles, and like he was getting hyped up so much, and I was like, this guy's absolutely terrible, because every single battle I'd seen him in, he fucked up and was horrendous, and Ilmac just absolutely like goes in on him.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Ilmac goes in on him in real time, so it's Averb, and it's this era Averb. So of course he's so fussy with the time and the limits.
Yeah,
it really doesn't make anything fun to watch. It makes him just seem like a little of a queen, really. Someone who's just making high demands on things. And the fact that Ilmac takes it in the first and says like, bitching to Malathion, trying to play timekeeper and all that sort of stuff, where Averb's clearly, as he was doing it, it's crazy. It's so good.
Yeah, that's like knowing your opponent that well that you can like write stuff that's going to be relevant to what he's going to do on the day.
It's fucking ridiculous, man. And Ilmac started like going in on the total slaughter thing and how they had to pick a winner who choked less and all this. It's just really simple shit, but it just hits so hard. It really makes him like a fool. It's great.
Yeah, and just saying like the name flip about Averb mean it being action.
Based on action. Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I love that line.
Just kills him, and then he goes in the nerd stuff. He gets the props out.
Yeah, he does.
he gets the glasses out. I don't know if he needs them. I don't know what prescription they are, but whatever they did, they just helped with his round.
And like, you could argue Averb's first, time limits, whatever. His second, he starts talking about contracts and how like there used to be better things for him to sign.
Yeah.
It's like, the fucking shit in this battle. How are you talking about contracts and benefits when your first round was terrible?
Yeah, no one wants to hear your business plan, mate. Save it for the meeting on Monday morning, yeah.
And he's like, obviously he's in LA. There's a lot of Mexican people in the crowd. Ilmac is Mexican. He's like, next bar might cross the line. Something you people good at. And it's like, the crowd don't vibe with that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, this is because it's the most fucking basic way of saying that. There's no thought into that part.
And we get a showtime. I mean, you haven't watched much Averb. Do you know what a showtime is? What do you think of it?
I don't know what a showtime is.
A showtime is like Averb's catchphrase where he's like, so it's showtime. The crowd like sings like showtime. And he goes into this kind of like signature flow, which has kind of like individual lines in it. And it's kind of like, you have to see a few of them to kind of understand what they are. But like, it's very much his thing, his slogan, as it were. And, where he's like, downshift, make it rain when I Tokyo drift. Like, that gets quite a big reaction. It's not great, but it works.
Yeah. The slogans are a bit shit though, aren't they? Like, it's a bit of a lazy way of writing stuff, and if you've already been like massively lazy in all 3 rounds, and like a slogan's not going to save you.
I fucking love in Ilmac's third, which is just a brilliant round from top to bottom, really strong round. He touched on the whole big K stuff and the kind of like, super Wi-Fi chip or whatever it is. Like, it's great shit. Like, delete obsolete files, breeze by security, and rewire your save. Just the way he delivers it is fantastic. But I love the whole idea of like, I'll be the nerd who ends shooting the school up, when he's sort of talking about URL and the cool kids on the tail. Like, it's a great
you can't sit with us.
And it's like everything from Principal Smack to Arsenal school bus. It's just really like nicely done, really, really tight.
Yeah, it just completely kills them. Like, you can obviously tell who cared about this battle and who didn't.
And then Verb has the worst third ever. Like, it's terrible. His third, like,
so bad.
Like, he starts saying like how the crowd have called him Porch Monkey. It's like, it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Racist.
And the crowd kind of moan. Like,
you're fucking racist.
And he's like, you expect me to go harder? He's just like this imaginary beef they just made up for controversy. It's arts. I hate the idea of excuses.
I see what this is. Like, when he's getting no reaction, I see why this is. This ain't because my material's terrible. Y'all just racist. Like, no, you really were you were your shit. And I mean, I'm surprised Organic didn't ask for his money back halfway through that round.
No, I feel
just stop it and be like, oh, here's my receipt. It's still 28 days within the purchase, so I'd like, I know my statutory rights. I'd like my money back, please.
Deff, you obviously are a big fan of Batman in all ways. Were you excited when Averb said that he has the characteristics of the Joker?
No, I can't even remember that line, to be honest.
Well,
was that literally the depth of it?
That's literally
that's another battle I watched today, like 5 hours ago.
He's like, I have the characteristics of the Joker minus his gruesome features, is all he says. But, it was a terrible line. He literally says that. There's no kind of metaphor there or anything. It's just kind of very basic. Averb is definitely someone in this battle. He came stronger later on, but he's mostly a guy who seems to just coast on reputation. And I think it's hard to argue otherwise. And Ilmac is someone who's been here since the Scribble Down days. He's been showing out. This is another one of my favourite Ilmac battles ever. I urge everyone to check this battle out because he absolutely bodies Averb. He beats him every round convincingly, makes him look like an absolute idiot, and Verb kind of does a self-body as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, I kind of want to start a segment called How Would Deffinition Done It? So drop the jingle. It's a definition bit. How would he done it? It's a definition jingle. How would he do? So I would have done it like, I would have wore the glasses and been like, Averb, I'ma be a gay nerd. And then done loads of like gay bars. Maybe not. Maybe I'd have to see on the. I do like gay nerd bars about building dildos and stuff. Right. Maybe not though. I mean, you never know.
Right.
But that's the segment of the show. It's a definition jingle, man.
And I think no one can argue with us that the best...
I don't know what that last segment... Can we not do that segment again? It didn't really work, did it?
I mean, pilot season, you got to try things out, see what gets picked up. At number one, King of the Dark Body Bag, in mine and Def's opinion, I think a lot of people's opinion, it's this Cannabis, Def.
Classic.
To be here today, I had to hypnotize myself. But it's impossible to lie to myself. Look at him. It's like I'm standing beside myself. He bit my whole fucking style. I got MMA niggas in the crowd. I should make them whip your ass right now. Hey, yo.
And it's good, and it's bad because it's good, and it's good because it's bad.
How big of a Cannabis fan were you? Because I've got to be honest with you,
absolutely huge, like ridiculously big. Like I must have about 6 or 7 of his. Well, I used to have 6 or 7 of his albums on my iPod, all paid for, non-torrented either.
Sure, wow. I mean, was he a very lyrical guy?
Oh, he's so lyrical, such a lyrical miracle. Some would say.
Shit, was he like mid-90s, Maltese? What was it, kind of?
I don't know. It's just like his style of he was like a scientific rhymer.
Okay.
Just his early stuff was like influenced me so much as well. And like me and my mates at college, we all loved cannabis. Yeah. Not the drug, not like that. Don't take that clip out of context and like play it with the police or anything.
So were you aware of his debut, Can I Bus?
Yeah, I had that day one. And I absolutely loved him. And we used to argue because we were massive battle rap fans as well. And we used to always be like, "Oh, but yeah, if Cannabis ever battled, people gonna die." So massively hyped up for this battle.
Jesus,
best thing since sliced bread, and it didn't disappoint in a way because it still has redeeming qualities of like the whole Tom Cruise mom shoes.
That's his opening line.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
His opening line. Wonton Soup is the follow-up, of course.
And it was parodied so much.
Yeah, still?
I remember like Rita Ora's Diodora's. I think that was probably the best one.
That is the best one. That's great.
Yeah, but just so many. Like, if you watch mine and Jefferson Price's versus Mickey, Worthless and Kruger, like literally most of that battle is just quoting like Disaster versus Cannabis, because so good. Like Cannabis terms like coined so many phrases in this battle. Yep. Like faggot magnet. He says something about a stomach vest, like an artillery vest. I can't quite remember what it was. You a vampire that drink faggot blood. Yeah. So good, just so good for all the wrong reasons.
And obviously, gigantic battle without saying at the Vendetta event. DNA, Arsenal Immaculate, Kruger Saurus, I think. Tons of huge battles there. But the Cannabis battle is the biggest battle. It's one of the biggest battles ever. And it's such a weird battle. It was such a weird moment, wasn't it? I believe Busta Rhymes tweeted about the Cannabis.
Yeah. Exhibit tweeted about it.
Yeah.
Eminem said something about it.
Wow.
Like, after the battle happened, like Cannabis released some statement saying that he'd been abducted by aliens 4 days before. Classic Pac, the guy who was the topless guy behind Cannabis.
Oh, who is that? Classic Pac?
I don't know, but I used to troll him all the time.
What?
And he always used to respond, like a genuine.
I love Dizzy's flip about him as well. He's like, he's already got his shirt off or something like that.
But Classic Pac made some big deal about having this track with Nicki Minaj that was coming out. So go on YouTube and type in Classic Pac, P-A-K, and Nicki Minaj, and it's literally like him rapping, and it's just someone's sampled Nicki Minaj, and to him that's featuring Nicki Minaj. So
wow,
just what a guy.
That's
takes a man who stand in a rap battle with your shirt undone.
It is quite
cheering for really shit lines.
Oh my god! And who's that guy with glasses who you can just see visibly going mad?
Yeah, he was
he loves shitty
becoming
bars.
quite a so many people were gassed by Cannabis's opening thing. And I think what really hurt Cannabis's battle was that he agreed to doing disaster time limits. Like
10
his
minutes.
his first round cannabis is probably about 4 minutes, which is not like the typical length of a normal like person's rounds for an entire battle. So if he had just agreed to do that, then like he would have had a good performance out of that first round if he had to spread it over 3 rounds. But he just was an idiot and agreed to a time limit that he couldn't even write for.
Yeah.
And had to get a notepad out for.
Yeah. And he just has some terrible, weird lines. One that I always think of, I know this is quite a macabre line, where he's like, I piss in your mouth while you shit yourself.
Yeah,
It's
shit
like,
in your pants. The Weird Owl laughs at the crowd.
the Weird Owl, what the hell? That gets like
No, the wise owl.
The wise owl.
Oh, yeah, my man. I throw you in the air, crash you in the clouds. That just goes off, that one.
Yeah, that was.
That's before people like realized he was terrible. It's kind of like the Emperor's New Clothes effect.
Yeah.
I think people were reacting because other people were reacting. Like, crash you in the clouds gets a massive reaction.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean anything. It's absolutely terrible. And I think like throughout the battle, he gets worse and worse to the point where even the public are like, I can't cheer for this anymore.
And did you watch it live or did you just see it on YouTube?
Yeah, I did. We had like a Skype group chat where someone bought the pay-per-view and then just played it through the microphone over Skype till like 6 a.m.
Nice.
So yeah, that's me supporting the pay-per-view scene, obviously. Probably get in trouble for that.
And I mean, we should say as well, for as bad as cannabis is, Disaster's still awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely amazing. I do think the battle goes on for a bit too long.
Yeah.
Especially after the first round where, it's clear who's won. But Disaster just absolutely smashes him. I mean, some of his schemes are a bit long and drawn out, but that's kind of what you get when you have unlimited rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the way he mixes in the freestyles about his sling, putting his own dog to sleep.
It's crazy shit, man. Yeah.
So good. And he's head and shoulders above cannabis.
Of course.
I don't know why Cannabis thought it was a good idea going against arguably one of the best battle rappers in the world for his first performance.
I'd love to know how it came about, the story.
Yeah.
How did King of the Dark get it organised?
I remember, I think Cannabis got paid $12,000 for it.
Wow.
And it was literally like, you've just given 12 grand to a crackhead. I remember Soul saying like, you probably just give him like the money to get the lethal overdose that's going to kill him.
Shout out Cannabis. I'm not sure what he's doing at the moment. I don't know him that well.
He's not been heard for a while.
No?
Like, he used to release stuff all the time, and then
apparently his last album came out last year. It's called Time Flies, Life Dies, ... Phoenix Rise.
So he drops the multi as well. So he can't even keep the multi going for more than like one other scheme.
but yeah, it's interesting.
Devastated.
His first album, its peak US position in the charts was number 2.
Yeah, massive, like really good album. That was obviously off the back of his beef with LL Cool J.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of disappointing to see like your hero get shot down. But also good because like so much funny stuff came from it. Like I remember within like 6 hours of the battle happening, there was a remixed trailer for The Notebook with Disaster and Cannabis in it, and it was like edited like a proper film trailer with clips from the battle. And then obviously Frank Stax did a parody of it. It gave hours of fun, endless amounts of fun.
All right, man. Well, thank you for joining me on this tour of the worst body bags in King of the Dark.
Oh, brilliant. Another great episode.
Fantastic.
Definitely one of the highest viewed ever episodes this is going to be. It's got to be.
And your website, man, what's that website? It's a great website.
Deffinition.co.uk. I do loads of movie reviews. Please come. I do game reviews. Please come. I do TV.
Can we?
Come on, please.
Can we get a quick review of something you've loved recently? Any medium.
I I really like Deepwater Horizon, which has just came out. You can check out my review on that on my website. There's a plug. It's got about 62 views on YouTube. So yeah, all the help's needed because I put about 3 hours work into that review, and it's just not.
So that was the Mark Wahlberg sort of.
Yeah.
How was that? That's meant to be quite good.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Oh right, okay. Interesting.
Also, me and my girlfriend, we just moved in this house, so I made her watch The Flash, and we've watched. There's like 23 episodes per season, and we've watched like the first season and a half since Tuesday.
Wow.
So recommend with The Flash if you haven't seen it. She absolutely loves it. Sometimes I go down, I catch her watching it by herself.
Wow.
So yeah. Got myself a good in there.
Isn't there a moment in The Flash? I've only seen one clip on YouTube, the TV show, where there's like a giant shark man.
Oh yeah, King Shark.
Pretty cool.
I don't want to spoil that though. I don't want to spoil that for people who just want to see it.
Shout out to Psychosis Holocaust. He's a big fan of the 90s toy Street Sharks, of which I am too.
Classic.
Everyone knows about those. But Dev, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no bother. Thank you. Send the check in the post.
On its way.
Just kidding with you. All right, guys. See you later. Take care.